KIDP is a governmental organization to support design industries in Korea. And actually, I think I'm the only I'm the Asian presenter here, so I'm so happy to share the service design stories in Korea. And with the advancement of IT or IT, I think many people can actually easy to access the information and express their ideas anywhere. But the government cannot hide the information anymore. So I think this causes a big paradigm shift in public service. And this is Korea, and the traffic accident is a serious problem of Korea. And I think the location of traffic signal can be a reason of it. Since whether the drivers keep the stop line or not, they can see the signals anyway, so they're not encouraged to keep the stop line. And I think this case shows the importance of service providers' perspective. Since the public service has been developed from service providers' perspective, they actually neglect who the service beneficiaries are, or what they really want, or what they really need. And this is the clear process to make public service in Korea, which is called Manual of Quality Management for Public Policy. And civil servants are recommended to follow these guidelines, but ironically, when they follow this, then their project was just failed. And then this also suggests many ways to attract citizens' participations, but it never happens. And although some of them has been used, most of them were just like a formal gesture, so it doesn't seem to be enough to attract citizens' participations, especially at the front part of it. And the public budget also hasn't been allocated effectively. Rather than putting it into the front stage where the citizens' needs should be defined, most of them were just invested into the promotion or in implementation stage. So it's likely to lead the policy failure. And another example from Germany, and the traffic signal is installed at the front line of the stop line. So there's no way to see the signals if they don't keep the stop line. So I would say that well-designed public service can actually reduce the accident rate or even save the people's life. And with the interview with civil servants, they know the importance of citizen-centered perspective. So the point is, how can we as designers can just draw citizens' participation to make the public service better? And this is the comparison between public service making process and service design process. And I found that these two are very similar, but the results are totally different. And the big difference came from how people were engaged in each process. So I think service design can be the answer to make up for the public service process's drawbacks. And since the service making process doesn't have proper ways to engage with people, but service design does, as you know. Yeah, and to make the public service better, we put service design into public service, and we call it Design Dive. It's a Korean representative service design workshop since 2011, and with multidisciplinary professionals, we deeply dive into the public service innovation projects. And the recent one we've done is Innovation for Public Service Center. Since Public Service Center is a physical touch point between citizens and public service administrations, we just invited citizens and local councils and designers to engage all together. And unlike what civil servants have done, just like searching for the internet or put some experts' opinions and make some superficial or text-based manuals, as you see, we added more new perspective from designers and citizens, and actually find out the actual problems and then give them to the integrated solutions. And after 6 weeks of Design Dive, the civil servants began to be changed. Actually, I think they are the most conservative people in the world, so I think it's a big improvement for us. Yeah. And since the design dive was quite successful, similar workshops or projects are running in various fields in Korea. It actually drew a lot of changes from public service or public service making process. And here I'll talk about more examples. And this is root of crime by design. And Seoul City wanted to reduce the crime rate in certain area called Mapo. And they co-designed with its community members and put some signals or lights to make the area more bright and easily report the locations if something happened. And this is redesigned energy utility bill to encourage people to save electricity. You can see the old one, very complicated, but we came up with 3 different colors. So if you use more, then you get red, and if you underuse, then you get green. And after the pilot project, 10% of energy usage was reduced. And I think this kind of human-centered design movements are occurring everywhere. And from the Google trend, I found out that the number of searching service management was decreasing, but the number of customer experience or service design is increasing. To sum up, I think public service has existed since the origin of human being, but as I know, we haven't been satisfied. But I think it's the time to get the satisfaction from public service, because service design met service design. Public service met service design. Thank you.